What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am bringing you guys another video in my series of must-have gags. And yeah, if you're interested, so I have some bit of disclaimers for you guys. First thing, I put up a video yesterday, and I will link, not yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days. I put up a video, my last video. I will link it up in the cards. Basically, I am on a no buy. So I will not be purchasing any makeup in the month of November. So even if I say that I want to purchase something during this series or any other series, it won't be purchased until December, if then. I'm deciding if I want to honestly extend the no buy. I have a lot of makeup, and yeah. Second thing, my full face has been items from my project pan, which was actually my last video. So I will link that up in the cards as well. Coincidentally, Katie Marie here on YouTube, I think her Instagram name is Lady Katie 89, I want to say. She reached out to a bunch of people and asked if they wanted to do a project pan till New Year's. So we're basically doing the same thing, except for I'm doing 12 items and they're doing 9. I will try and find their community tab and link that down below. I'm not a part of it. I might ask to be part of it, but currently I'm not. So yeah, if you guys are really into project pan videos, I will link that down below just for you guys to see. I think that's it. It is really it is really overcast today, so I have a lot of artificial lighting on me currently. Oh, and then lastly, I am recording on Friday. I actually will not be in town tomorrow or Sunday, so I wanted to go ahead and record it today and hopefully edit it tonight so that it can already be chilling on YouTube, ready to upload on Sunday for you guys. I think those are all the disclaimers. Like I said, everything on my face is basically from my project pan video. I did end up using that eyeshadow as a highlighter, and I used the Modern Renaissance and the Jacklyn Hill palette on my eyes. This is a lipstick. This is the This is Max Powder Matte Lipstick. I already put it away. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but anyways, everything, I will try my best to put the information down below, as I always do. If I forget something down there, most likely it's because I really don't remember what was on my face. But feel free to ask me questions if you have it. I don't have any mascara on. So we're gonna jump into the video after I put some mascara on. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, mascara put on, let's get into this. As always, I will have all of the pages that I use to create this little video. I will have, oh, that's interesting. Okay, okay, so down below I will have all of the pages that I use to kind of compile this video and get all the pictures. A lot of them are indie brand or indie pages because that's what I like to focus on in this series. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Let's just get into it. First, ColorPop is coming out with a brown sugar collection with Karrueche. I am not interested in this collection. It is very neutral, and it's just not my cup of tea. I'm happy that Karrueche is getting, now I believe, her 4th collab with them. I would love to see, of course, another person. I would love to see another person have the opportunity to collab with them, but yeah, good for her. Next, AmyHeartsCosmetics is supposed to be coming out with a Halloween collection, but okay, so I will put the picture up on the screen. This collection has already come out, and what is her name? Amy Loves Makeup here on YouTube actually already reviewed a bunch of the shadows from this collection. She was not dying for it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pass. And to be quite honest, none of these colors are really speaking out to me, so that is a pass for me. Next, Sydney Grace Co. has released all the shadows for their Autumn Rain palette. I'm not extremely excited based on the colors that they have shown, but I'm gonna hold out. I would love to see it in the palette first, and then I will make my decision. I will of course have a collage of all of the shadows here on the screen for you guys. But yeah, I mean, there are purples, there are some blues, there are some greens, and there are some neutrals. So I mean, it could be my cup of tea. I do have a lot of Sydney Grace Co. shadows, so I kind of will base that on what shadows I already have. And yeah, so something I'm keeping my eye on. I'm not rushing to get it though. Next, Glistening Beauty is coming out with the Azrian palette. It is available right now. It retails for $13 and you can get a 25% off code. I will put the code hopefully on the screen for you guys. It's Glitters 2018. It is a sort of rainbowy palette, but it also isn't at the same time. It's cute, and it's really cheap. Will I buy it? Maybe. Honestly, right now, like I said, I have a lot of makeup. I still have not done my part 2, or no. At this point, you guys have not even seen part 1 of my haul for my September, October items that I have purchased. And there will be, of course, a part 2, if not a part 3. It just kind of depends on when I put that video up or I record the second part. So I'm interested. I'll keep my eye out on this palette, but I'm not rushing to get it. Let me put it to you that way. Next, Rising.Pheonix makeup has already released another palette. Their first palette was the Greeks and Goddesses palette, I want to say, and this one is the Greeks, Monsters, and Beasts collection. The shadows are beautiful, and I don't believe the palette is extremely expensive. I want to say it's relatively cheap. What I will probably do is go ahead and scoop up both of the palettes that I'm interested in, and just do an overall brand review on them. Like I said, I'm not rushing to get these items from them, but I do want to try out this brand, and this is a Singapore based brand, so it will take a little while for it to come to me. Juvia's Place came out with the Warrior 2 palette, and this is in their series of Warrior palettes. They've already released 2. The first one was extremely neutral, but actually neutral. Like the other palette that they had previously, the Nubian, that was more warm tone. I was not a fan of either of those palettes, so I did not purchase either of them. And the Warrior 2, I might get it. I might get it with like my Ulta points at the end of the year, but I'm not rushing to get this palette. It does scream the Safari, the Safari, Natasha Denona Safari palette to me. It does look very similar, and I appreciate that because I did not want to support Natasha Denona's Safari palette. So I'm interested in probably purchasing this one to kind of get any lingering ideas of purchasing the Safari palette out of my head, you know. And this palette is only $20, $25, $20, yeah. And you can always get a discount or purchase it on Ulta. So I'm down for it. A lot more than the Warrior palette, but I'm hoping that the Warrior 3 palette is going to be a little bit more my speed. I know they've been dropping more neutral palettes because all of their other palettes were so colorful, but I really like color, and I really love Juvia's Place color. So I would love to get an all matte colorful palette from them. I would love it. And this is their first all matte palette, if I did not say that before. Stripback Beauty is coming out with the new Ooh palette. I will have it on the screen. I would say that if they only had the 2 colorful rows, I would purchase this. But because they have all the more neutral colors, it's honestly not my cup of tea. I would say that this would be perfect for anybody who wants to have like a New Year's palette, because those shimmers look beautiful. And you could always pop in some color if you're not a huge color fan. I am a huge color fan, unlike what my eye look today shows you guys. So yeah, to me, this palette is not screaming it. Maybe if it was only those 2 rows, maybe if the price isn't that bad, I might do it, but I'm trying to get palettes that the whole palette screams to me. I don't want to continue purchasing palettes that I love one color, love 2 colors, etc., etc. So yeah. I know this is not indie, but I did want to talk about it. Wet n Wild came out with some darker highlighters, both pressed and loose. I'm really happy that they did that. I do have 2 or 3 of Wet n Wild's pressed highlighters. I'm not a huge loose highlighter person, so I did not purchase any of those. I would be interested in getting one of their darker highlighters. I don't need it. Let's just put that out there. I don't need it, but I would be interested in getting it. I do like Wet n Wild's highlighter formulation, and I think it's a good bang for your buck. So yeah. Odins Eye Cosmetics has restocked their Freesia palette. It's basically a warm neutral palette. It's not screaming to me. I really love the packaging. That is beautiful. But the color scheme is just not something that really speaks to me fully. And so I'm going to go ahead and pass on that one. Lux Beauty is coming out with a palette. This, I believe, will be their first eyeshadow palette. And I don't know. I'm grappling whether I'm going to get it. We will see kind of after it comes out. It's probably going to come out in November, and as you guys know, I'm not purchasing in November. It's interesting, but it's not something I haven't seen before. It's not something I don't have in my collection. I do already have a Lux Beauty highlighter palette. I really like that highlighter palette. So we will see. I'm not rushing to get this, but I do have my eye on this palette, if you know what I mean. Next, another non-indie brand, but I did want to talk about it. NARS Cosmetics is coming out with an exposed Cheeck palette. It's apparently already released in a different country. I don't remember where the other country is. This one I'm interested in. I doubt the bronzer-y shades would work for me, nor the highlighter shades. I really just want a NARS first palette. And I probably honestly still won't purchase this one, but this one looks pretty. It looks so pretty. Another indie, back to the indie brands. Kallang Cosmetics has dropped their oh my god, all these names. So Kallang Cosmetics has dropped their Achelos palette, and this is their Goddess Collection Volume 1. Hopefully I got all that together. It's a pretty palette. It is being released, and all the sales will go to the American Autoimmune Related Diseases Association. This color scheme is beautiful, and honestly, I might pick this one up. This is unique. It's a cool tone palette. I'm interested in this palette. I don't know why, but I'm interested. So we will see. Misfit Beauty has fully released the palette that is the Brains and Beauty palette. It is already launched, and it's basically a colorful palette with a black and a white. I don't need this palette. I've gotten a couple of palettes with those same color schemes. It's pretty, but I don't need it. And that's kind of how we're gonna leave that one. XNo Cosmetics has released their Sunset Sky palette. Once again, it's pretty, it's beautiful, but I don't need it. So I am not going to go ahead and pursue this one either. Lux Beauty, this collection has already gone away, but I did just want to talk about it. Lux Beauty released their 6 collection, and it was 6, I want to say, trichrome shadows. I actually ended up not purchasing these shadows. I understood that they were trichrome and they looked beautiful, but I have now 3 palettes of Luxy shadows. I don't need these. I don't need them. And I believe that basically they're just trying to see how people are going to like that formula, if people are going to go reach for it, if people are going to give them high reviews or not. And then they will probably release a full line that's permanent. So if and when that happens, then maybe I will look into them. But right now, I really don't need any Luxy shadows, let alone their metallics. I have a whole palette that's basically metallics from them. So I really don't need any more from them. Nabla Cosmetics has fully released their Secret Garden palette. Let me find, did I not? I didn't pin it. Give me a second. Where is it? Those are the swatches. So these are the swatches. I will try and find, here it is. So I will put a photo of the palette on the screen. This does not scream Poison Garden to me, nor does it scream the packaging. The packaging was really dark, jewel tone, mysterious, and the inside is not. So I'm just not about it. And then on top of it, I have already reviewed a Nabla Cosmetics palette. I will try and remember to link it up in the cards. I was not fully impressed with that palette, to be honest. I thought that the formulation was very weak. The pigmentation was just not there for me. I have heard that their singles are better, but honestly, Nabla is just too expensive for me to want to give them that chance again. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Too Faced, I know they're no longer indie, but I did want to talk about their Pretty Rich collection, specifically the palette. I am not interested in this palette. I don't find anything beautiful about this palette. It's really annoying how the glitter shadow pans are a different thing, different shape, good Lord, than all the other shadows. I'm just not interested in this palette at all. So no. Next, Zura Cosmetics has released some more highlighters. I got this off of Indie Makeup Spotlight, and that is a page that is run by Amy Loves Makeup here on YouTube. She has talked about their highlighters a lot and loves them. From what I can see, a lot of their highlighters are too light for my complexion. I would love to try them out. Maybe what I'll do is kind of go through their feed and see if they have anybody that's my complexion on there, and if they do, what highlighter they're using. Maybe I'll try that highlighter. I am interested in trying it, but once again, I won't be trying it in the month of November. Enchanted Luxury Cosmetics has sneak peeked a new palette, which they have not shown the inside. Apparently it's supposed to have fluorochromes, duochromes, and multichromes all in this palette. I'm interested to see what is going to be inside it. Depending on what's the inside, I might pick it up after my no buy, but currently I'm good. Next, Blush Tribe is coming out with a collab with Sonia Zareen, makeup artist. I want to see the colors in pan. The packaging looks beautiful. The swatches look pretty. And honestly, if this is on the website when Paulina Beauty's palette is on the website, I might just go ahead and scoop it up at the same time. I will be talking about that palette later on. But yeah, as of right now, I'm not dying to get that palette. A new indie brand is called Vie Cosmetics. They're dropping like 9 eyeshadow palettes and like 2 highlighter palettes all at the same time when they release. The only eyeshadow palette that really speaks to me, well, there's 2. The Stockholm one, which is more cool tones, and the Tokyo one. Those 2 really speak to me. The Tokyo one is a lot more bright colors, and like I said, the Stockholm one is cooler tones. Those 2 look pretty, and the highlighter quads look pretty too. Depending on what the price is, we shall see. I am following them. I believe they still have not launched yet. No, they said coming soon in October. And it says available, oh my gosh, It says available November 6th. So by the time I'm off my no buy, hopefully somebody has reviewed this collection, this brand somewhere, either on YouTube, in a blog. I will be looking, and if they like it, and if it's somebody that I know, I might go ahead and scoop up a couple of products from this brand. Lime Crime. So I have been talking about Lime Crime. I basically said, you know, all of these brands that I basically blacklisted, I'm no longer going to blacklist them. It's kind of one of those things. You be great. I'm going to purchase from brands that support me, make products for me, etc., etc., etc. And I have gone ahead and purchased my first Lime Crime products. And I want to purchase some more. They came out with a holiday collection, and one of the quads is gray tones. I don't have a palette that has all gray tones. Do you have a palette that has all gray tones? And I mean, it has silver. Silver is my favorite. I'm getting that one. I am. So yeah, I might even get one of their lip collection situations. I'm hoping that this comes to Ulta. To my knowledge, it is not in Ulta yet, but I would like it to come to Ulta, and then I will purchase it. An indie brand that has come out with some bronzers is the Prime Beauty. I did not follow them yet. I just followed them. I'm highly interested in their bronzers. It looks like they have bronzers that'll work for people of color. It is a people of color based brand now that I'm looking at the collection, so I am highly interested. You guys know that I love bronzers. Bronzers are my weak point. Out of all face products, I really will buy a bronzer regardless of the price if I think it'll work for me, and some of these bronzers I think will work for me, so I would love to test out that formula and to see if it works for me. OMFG Cosmetics is releasing a couple of new palettes. This one that I'm going to be talking about is their fall palette with a twist. It looks very springy to me, but that never stops me. I wear colors all the time. And honestly, I did just get my first palette from them. This is their Lexicon palette. I literally just got this yesterday. It got to me on November 1st. I think they wanted it to get here on Halloween because this was their like Halloween release. And it is a little dirty. I didn't clean it up, and I have not touched it. Come on, camera. There we go. I have not touched it. It's all shimmer except for the white and the black. I really do want to do a first impressions on camera with you guys, so I'm not going to touch this. I doubt that this is, I doubt that this is on sale anymore. They made it seem like this was a super limited edition. I got one that's all green. It does work for me. I kind of wish my eyeball was like creepy, but my eyeball isn't creepy. So yeah, I'm interested in that palette, but based on how I feel about this one, we will go from there. Bombshell Cosmetics is also sneak peeking that they're coming out with a holiday collection. Did I unfollow them? What? Anyways, so we will see. You guys know that I already have a Bombshell Cosmetics palette. This 3 Looks Well palette will be coming up this week. It's coming up this week, and I'm actually aiming to hit pan in this one shade Minty. I already have a really nice dip on that for the end of this year in my project pan that I have up. So depending on the color schemes, I might pick it up. I do like their formula, although Spooky Lips and Fat Hips did bring up a point that they oh, girl, I thought it stopped recording. Whoo, Lord. Spooky Lips and Fat Hips did bring up a point that they are private labeled. I don't mind if you're private labeled as long as I like the color scheme and it's not something that I can get everywhere. In my opinion, I couldn't get that palette everywhere, although apparently they have the same formulation as the crayon case, and I never supported the crayon case, so yeah, this was a unique palette to my collection. Next, Luscious Lex Collections is coming out with the Pretty Girls Quad palette. It looks like there's 1 pressed glitter, 2 shimmers, and 6 mattes. It's pretty. It's cute. Will I purchase it? I don't know. Probably not. It's coming out in November. And that's all the information that we have. There is a coupon if you're interested in it to get money off. You would use Spooky for 35% off. I don't know if that situation is still available, but I would go ahead and try it if you were interested. Another non-indie, I'm sorry, I wanted to talk about this as well. Urban Decay is coming out with On the Run mini palettes. I think this is genius. Everybody loved their On the Run bigger palette. I think it's genius that they're coming out with minis. I will look into these minis. Right now I don't have any Urban Decay palettes in my collection. No, I do. I have the electric palette. So right now I don't have very many Urban Decay collection or eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I would love to add some more. So depending on if any of the color schemes really speak out to me, I might get one. Talking about a brand that I actually did do a video about, it was like, I think the title was like brands that I don't support. No, makeup I would like to see from brands I don't support. I will try and remember to link that up in the cards. If the cards are finished or if I forget, I will try and put it down below. Jeffree Star has released his Alien palette. First of all, I hate the packaging. I would never buy it off that packaging alone, but the inside is pretty. I must say I really do like the inside, and this was kind of what I was asking from him. I was asking from him to do a cohesive color scheme with, I want to say I asked specifically for his brand, greens, yellows, and purples. I want to say that's what I asked. If not, I mean, look at the video. But this would have been a palette that if I supported him, I would have purchased. I don't support him for the racism and all that jazz. I'm not going to get too far into it, but if I did support him, this would have been the palette that would have pushed me over the edge to actually go ahead and purchase. Next, another sneak peek from Dominique Cosmetics, and the name of the eyeshadow palette is Berries and Cream. I know a lot of people was thinking that it was going to be like a sangria or a wine name because she had done so many drink themed palettes before. I am interested in this palette. I have not yet purchased from her yet, just because the latte palette was too neutral for me. The lemonade palette was disappointing for me. So I'm hoping that this Berries and Cream one will be exactly what I want. I'm hoping it's more berries, not too much cream. You know what I mean? And not too much Modern Renaissance theme, because I really don't reach to that palette, even though that's what's on my eyes today. Next is the Paulina Beauty and Blush Tribe collab. I'm so happy for her. I have been following Paulina since the beginning of this year, if not early of this year. I've been following her for a while on YouTube, and she is collabing with Blush Tribe, and this palette is perfect. Don't get me wrong, I think that Blush Tribe has done this sort of color scheme, but it's a more refined color scheme. It's only 9 eyeshadows, and it's supporting Paulina Beauty. She has said in her video that she will not be taking any of the proceeds. The proceeds will actually be donating to some form of cause. She didn't go into why. I'm assuming she will do it in her like for real review or reveal video and like tutorial of with her palette. But I still do want to support her to show brands that they can work with her. So I will be purchasing this palette, and I'm hoping that Angelica, please come out with a palette same time so I don't have to pay too much shipping. But yeah, one of the last things that I have pinned, and then I will go through some of the other pages, is James Charles has released his palette. He's shown it, and it looks like basically, I don't know what the name of it was, but it's with Morphe. You know the one, well, you guys can see it on the screen. It's basically a colorful version of the 2 rows of smaller shades and then the big fat ones in the middle. this palette, if it's the same size as the other one, is going to be huge. I don't need a big palette. So my camera stopped recording. I don't know why, there's plenty of memory. But yeah, I was basically saying that I'm good on the James Charles collab. So yeah. Now I am on Indie Mood Makeup Spotlight just to see if she showed anything that I did not tab, forgot to tab. No. Now let's go to Indie Mood. What is this? From Vie Cosmetics. It looks like they're coming out with a Lost Boys themed palette. And the name of it is Santa Carla. It has purples, greens, and some neutrals. This is an interesting palette. I might take a look at this palette. I've never tried Vie Cosmetics. I believe I talked about them earlier in this video for something, I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see. Indie Mood Makeup Hunter. Isn't that the name? Yeah, Makeup Hunter News. Let's see if she's talked about anything new. The latest thing that she has talked about, what is this? So the most recent thing that she's talked about that I did not see anywhere else is Zoeva is coming out with a holiday collection. I will put it up on the screen. I believe Zoeva is actually an indie brand. They're coming out with a cheek palette with 2 colors. It looks like a blush and a highlighter, a 6-pan eyeshadow palette, and then a 3, 6, 7, 8, and then a 9 shadow. No, wait, not 9. That's 6. So that has to be 10. Good Lord. They're coming out with a 10-pan eyeshadow palette as well. All with the same color scheme. Oh, it's sets. They have different sets. Oh, that's interesting. Probably, I wonder if we could get that on their website. It's apparently coming to Sephora. Maybe not Sephora in the US, because Sephora in the US doesn't cover Zoeva. I still have never purchased from them just because a lot of their palettes are extremely neutral. I hear great things about their formula, but they're just extremely neutral, and I'm not extremely neutral. I love color. So yeah. I think that's it. I don't think that I have anything. Oh, just to let you guys know, the name of the James Charles and Morphe palette is 39A. So I think the palette that it's like the sister of is the 39B, I think. I don't know, child. There's too many. Morphe has too many palettes. I can't keep up. Let me just check on Trend Mood. Make sure there's nothing else. Oh, apparently Sigma is coming out with the collection with Yasmin. I have no idea who she is, and her profile is private, so I have no idea. But it is 18 eyeshadows and 2 highlighters. It has foiled shimmers, dual-ended brush, and yeah, honestly, this palette screams the Makeup Revolution and Tammy palette to me. So I don't need this palette. It looks pretty. I love that she put Cheetos in the flat lay, but I don't need it. So yeah, I think that is all for this time. I will see you guys in 2 weeks to continue this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it as always, and yeah, it has been real. Peace.